Hey, howdy, how the heck are you doing? So today we're doing part 2 of lighting. So remember part 1, we did a basic intro. We talked about, again, we'll see this on lighting, Kelvin scale, what the differences that makes. And we were talking about this situation, I wanted your input, where we had a kitchen, we're doing lighting. And again, we've stepped away from being, hey, we're putting in 2 rows of 4 and a dimmer, we're good. We're so much beyond that. So here's the deal. Customer had warm colored cabinets, wood floors, you know, kind of cream colored, everything else except for the backsplash. Backsplash was white. White subway tile. This isn't subway tile, I know. However, it is shiny white tile. So and I asked you guys, what would you do? Because it seems like we have a problem with if we have under cabinet lighting on the backsplash, and it's white. Here, let's do this. Let's just not say it, let's show it. Okay, this is what I was talking about with the yellow. If you look at this, anyway, so cool texture tile. But if you look at the yellow light on the white tile, it just, again, to me, it just looks dirty. So, now this is an extreme, but if we go to the 5000, which is much, much wider, you'll see the difference in terms of the tile just looks cleaner. Now it still might be too harsh in terms of the brightness because this is a massive bulb 4 inches away, but that's the difference. And that's what I'm illustrating is that we were looking at this color light on the undercab lights for the backsplash and the warmer color overhead because the rest of the kitchen was warm. So here's the story. Here's my conclusion. Here's how that situation worked out. So I'm talking to the client, and in my mind, I had this rigid assumption that all the light in the kitchen had to be the same color. I mean, warm and warm or cool and cool, however you want to do it, had to be the same. And we're talking, and then she said, well, why do they have to be the same? And I said, I don't know. Do they have to be the same? And she was fine with it being separate. And that blew me away. I'm so used to people generally being a little bit more rigid in how they look at their space. So that was interesting. That opened a whole world for me. Because what that did is it said, hey, everything doesn't have to be matchy-matchy. You don't have to always have symmetry. And it was really cool. Her kitchen looked fantastic when it was done. And because both of these sets of lights, the undercabs and the overheads, could be dimmed, she also controlled that intensity. So that was our answer in that situation that worked well. We had the similar thing when we had toe kick lights. Okay, I'll tell you what that is. So you have your lower cabinets, right? And there's an overhang because the cabinets sit on about a 4-inch pedestal and there's an overhang, right? Customer wanted that like sort of like a nightlight. We put LED tape under that and it shines out across the floor. Really, really cool. And it's not hard to do. Really cool. A lot of bang for your buck on that. Just a lot of, remember we talked about the wow? That's a wow. First evening you do a walkthrough and you click those on and demo them and you're just like, wow, you just want to stand there and look at their floor. It's just lit, so, you know. But it was the same challenge. Warm color cabinets, everything else in that situation was warm, but the floor was a really, really light, shiny. It was non-earth tone. It was more like this, okay, as far as color. And they came to the same conclusion. They said, James, why do they have to be the same color? And I said, now I learned a little bit, you're right, they don't. I just want to make sure that they understood that. And it looked fantastic. So as you're looking at one of your design and your recommendations and sort of the advice you're giving to your clients, whereas a homeowner, as you're putting your stuff together, keep this in mind, keep it in your back pocket. All your stuff doesn't have to match for the space to look really good. And that's what I'm coming to. So real quick while we're here, here's one of the more challenging things, a piece of interesting artwork. There's a story there, don't worry. But look at the colors. We have black, and then we have these other colors. But I just want you to see this, okay? Look how that looks in this white. And again, this is about a 5000K. Hoping you're seeing that. I'm not just washing you out. Okay? And then, with the warmer color, and what you're going to see on a surface, or in this case a painting, different color lights will make different colors in the painting pop. Okay? And it's cool. A lot of times I come across stuff like this that's like a wow, and it's an accident. I like to say I'm a brilliant lighting designer. No, a lot of my design has absolutely been accident. Most of it happy accidents. So I wanted to show you one other thing. Bear with me here. This is probably one of the world's oldest rocking chairs for a kiddo. So the reason this is here is it's the wood, okay? It's dark. It's not super smooth or shiny. It's got to be, gosh, 80, maybe even 100 years old. A couple of generations of kiddos have sat on this. So look at the wood. Again, if we look up here, look at how the wood looks and the texture with this 3000K bulb. Yes, someday I'll graduate to having 2 light bulb sockets. Not yet. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves. And then here's 5000K. Okay? So one of the reasons we talk about this is that, again, we're not in the 1500s. Your lighting design or your input isn't just, in my mind, always just following what the architect drew, although that does eliminate a lot of questions. A lot of times you're working with a homeowner who doesn't have an architect. They don't have a designer. All they know is they're putting a lot of money into their house and they want it to look way better. And the lighting, like paint, is going to make a huge, huge difference. And you as the electrician can also, on the negative side, put in trashy, indifferent, I'll say indifferent lighting, and make all that money look like garbage. Absolutely. First nighttime you go, you have all this cool furniture, flooring, textures. You turn on the wrong light or the wrong brightness, and it looks like a rental. At that point, it's like, why bother? So the lighting, big difference, not super expensive, big bang for your buck, worth fiddling with. Click subscribe, click like, and I'll see you on the next one.